What's doing? Welcome back. I had a comment asking about Ford Ranger anti-destruct systems that we do, and if we get more information on it, more in-depth information. So I'll try and do that. I haven't got one on the dyno, but I've got one in the air here. We're doing one now. We did try and call it the Ford anti-destruct system or Ford anti-grenade system, but the second one probably doesn't work out as an acronym pretty well. So we stick with the Ford anti-destruct system. We'll ask Jess what she thinks. Do you think we go with Ford anti-destruct system or Ford anti-grenade system?
Probably anti-car, but anti-store grenade, so anti-destruct.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the FADS or FAGS. So we'll just go to this anti-destruct.
Yeah. I like that. Gotta read to it.
So yeah, that's the difference. But much like the Nissan anti-destruct system, the FADS system, what we do with them is pretty simple. Keeps them going and keeps them safe and going. Keeps them safe and going. Keeps them safe and running anyway. So first point of call is what we're doing today. This thing here, the EGR coil. There's two different types, the round type and the square type. This is the round type. We pull this out, and the reason we do it is because that's the EGR cooler. For those who don't know, there's two pipes that run in there for coolant. You got hot exhaust system coming around into the EGR, two coolant lines going there, swirl and try and cool it down. The problem with them is the coolant lines rust away inside here. And put coolant in, and it can go one of two ways. It can go this way and leak out the exhaust, which is okay, but not great. The other way is that the EGR opens and gives you a mouthful of water, and your pistons fall out the side of the block. So first part of call is we get rid of that. Now I have a couple here that I've kept from before. So this is the round system, and I think they're all rounds, to be honest with you. They're all there's a square one there. So they're all the same, just different. So you can see we have coolant coming in and coming back out. The actual exhaust gas goes through and comes back out the other side. And then, well, generally when they're leaking, we can tip them upside down. These ones are all been done already. We can tip them upside down and water flows out of them. But I don't know if you can be able to see. Oh, there you go. That's what the water flows through and the exhaust goes. So the exhaust goes through there and the water flows around it. Those coolers leak because it's obviously red hot and creates rust, and they leak out and go into your engine. Part two for an auto is this here. This is your transcooler. It fails, and the same thing, it has water coming down to it. There's actually an engine oil cooler there as well, but as well as this is a transcooler. Coolant lines come into that, and your trans oil lines run through that. This cooler, same thing, fails, and all of a sudden you have trans going through your coolant. Generally goes up because there's more pressure this way going to that, or you can also have water come through your auto and destroy your auto. So we replace these with a thermal blank, and it goes straight through to an external cooler. And then inside here, where the actual oil goes, there's a thermal valve which controls it, which from factory, I don't quite know the exact numbers, I think it's about 80, 90 degrees. It doesn't open until then. Someone in the comments will probably correct me, I'm sure, but the thermal valve doesn't open until it gets to that point. We delete that and just put a normal valve in it, so just as soon as the car starts, it just pumps it straight out, so that it has a chance to cool down. So it doesn't have to wait to get 90 degrees to try and cool down. It'll keep it around 80 degrees and keep it nice and cool. So that's the reason for that one. So thermal bypass, and obviously then the transcooler delete with an external cooler fixes your auto 90% of the time. The other part that fails is this part here, torque converter. A couple of things they do have. These ones these studded ones are okay, but there are early ones that have nuts in the back. You put the bolts through, the nuts snap off and you can't do them back up, and they rattle, and when you're in the car they snap and throw your torque converter everywhere. And that also destroys your flex plate. Your flex plates also on these things crack, so we check these to make sure there's no cracks in them, but the stud ones are usually pretty good. So this one's just getting a thermal valve delete and a EGR delete and a transfer as well because the oil was filthy, but we're going to leave the torque converter alone for him for the moment. But we do recommend a billet upgrade so you don't have any problems with them, because they do fail and go boosh, go inside and take everything out behind it. So you're up for about 10 grand for a box rebuild because that things let go. So part three is actual torque converter. This is all working out well because it's all apart on one car. So if we look up in there, that's the turbo. If I can try and show you with some light somewhere. That's your rear wheel of your turbo. That exits the chat. So the problem with them is factory, they're generally okay. If people tune them and put too much boost to them, they'll literally spit out the back. Your exhaust catches the wheel and the oil goes everywhere and you're going nowhere because it's going slow as hell. So option 4 is part of the anti-destruct system. is the turbo. It doesn't have to be upgraded G-turbo stuff. It doesn't have to be the bee's knees. We can just do a billet wheel replacement, so you can keep the factory turbo, size, performance, all that sort of stuff, but the billet wheels inside, so it doesn't blow up ever again. You're going to have a really, really good, reliable turbo. And we can push them a little bit harder, but we don't go too hard because obviously it's still a standard size turbo. If you want to go upgrade from that, by all means, we can do an upgrade. There's G-turbos, there's House of Automotives, there's all sorts of different brands. They're the only ones I probably really use. Other brands out there that we're just talking to Smoko about them, $800 to $1,000 turbos, stay away from them. They will blow up quicker than their factory ones did. So that's part 4 of the FADS system, is trying to stop this thing from happening. We're trying to do this now to stop anything blowing up on you, to try and keep the car together. Now the car's up on the hoist because I'm up here with them, but the pipe over there, that intake pipe, well, it's a turbo to intercooler to throttle body pipe. They explode, they leak and carry on. They're actually cheaper from Ford than they are Mazda. They use the same parts for the BT50 as they do the Ranger, but they split usually either under that corner there or in that webbing. They'll split because of all the oil contamination. So we recommend replacing them with hard pipes. So that's part 5, is hard pipes. The hard pipes are not going to get you much performance gain. People talk about less boost lag because there's no swelling, more response or stuff, which is probably going to happen because there's no swelling of the rubber. But it's more so reliability. You can go in the middle of nowhere, stand on it, the metal pipes aren't going to blow apart on you. You may get a silicone hose come off or something like that, but you can pop that back on and away you go. Whereas those rubber hoses, they split in the guts and you're stuffed. You can try and duct tape it up and it ain't going to work. It's going to squeal its brains out, it's going to be slow as hell, and that's part of the issue that you have with another Ford Anti Destruct System. Part 6, or part 5, I don't know where we're up to. Part 5. Airboxes and snorkels. Airboxes are generally okay. We do see a lot of sand and ingress into them. And snorkels, if you want to run the stainless steel style or the plastic one, both will work great. You can leave the factory airbox in, it's not a problem. It's just whether you're looking for that noise and cold air intake, water crossings, whatever you want to do. But it's not needed for part of the Anti Destruct system. It's just personal preference and what you're doing. Part 6 is under the car, again, is exhaust system. So this one has a DPF, it's over there on the ground. You can choose whether you want to put that back in or not. This one is going back in. Then you have the BT50s who have a cat here, DPF here, and then we have the Everest which have DPF and then an AdBlue system. Now the AdBlue system is obviously getting a bit old as well and creating dramas. If you have an AdBlue injector leaking, if you have the 6th injector leaking, they can create issues with the AdBlue and obviously DPF. That's all optional. We're going to turn that off as well, make it more reliable, especially when you're on the farm. You don't want to have any dramas with that. So if you're on the farm and you want to turn your DPF off and your AdBlue off, by all means we can do that. It just depends how big your farm is. But yeah, that's probably part 6 of the exhaust system. But apart from that, these generally aren't too bad. You just got to fix those things and creating the problem. So if you have a Ranger and you want to keep it reliable, those are the things I would do. I'd try and do it as much as it hurts the back pocket, do it all at once and you're done forever. If you want to chip away like this one is, we're just doing the EGR on this one. You can, we're also doing trans service and stuff on this one as well, but if you just want to chip away, by all means we can do that. Just to try and keep your car on the road. They are getting older, even though they may not have high Ks, they are getting older, things are starting to fall apart and wear. Just like the rubber hose and the silicone intakes, they start to split and fall apart. The EGR coolers start to fall apart. Trans coolers start to fall apart. It's just the things that start to let go and try and prevent that and create your car to last longer is the go. So that's what we do. So if you want a FADS system, give us a call, 54914626. It's not scientific, it's just basic stuff that we see commonly fail. We put it all together in a kit and go, this is what you should be doing. If you want to separate it all down into bits and pieces, we can start with one and sort of slowly progress through. You just don't have to keep pulling this thing back in and out. The more time you pull this thing in and out, the more labour. So if you're going to pull it out, let's do it once, and then we can move on to the other things. That's not a drama. This doesn't have to come back out for the turbo. This doesn't have to come back out for the exhaust. So just try and plan your life around that and budget. But if you're happy to get all done at once, we've had people come in, do it all at once, and you just drive out and you'll never see the car again. So that's it for this one. Ford Anti Destruct System. Bit more in depth. Hopefully it answers some more questions. If you want to talk about power, we can go through the other videos. You can see that, how much Ford Ranger makes and all that stuff. You can see that all on there. They do come up really, really well. They generally will be reliable once you do that Anti Destruct System, and you should never have any more dramas with them. So that's it for this one. Hit that like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.